He said he put a bet on Chandler by knockout. What now, Conor? Hey, should have mentioned him in the cage, you little lizard.
And who knows, you know? I will never say no to nothing. You know what I mean? Never say never, as they say.
Paddy Pimblett just fired shots at Conor McGregor in a wild, profanity-laced call-out that's got the MMA world buzzing. From fight rumors to fiery insults, things just got personal. What began as the repercussion of McGregor publicly proclaiming that he had bet against Pimblett and was rooting for Michael Chandler in their bout came to be misunderstood by Pimblett, who thought the unexpected insult was directed at him or kicked up the drama on his behalf. This bold prediction soon turned into an escalation that fueled speculation on future rivalries and famous matchups involving Pimblett.
What's up, everyone? It's the one and only notorious D-O-double-G. I want to wish you all a great fight night tonight and come through with my bet for the night. The fight I'm interested in, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm going to go with Michael Chandler to win and win by KO. Although Paddy's improved in his last few outings, I still fancy Chandler to do it. And the odds on a knockout are just too tasty at Jewelbits. And that's what the Mac loves. Tasty odds at jewelbits.com. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And place a bet beside me on jewelbits.com. The greatest odds in the game. Let's go, boys.
Paddy retains confidence in his challenge toward Conor McGregor, while holding a very passionate belief that the bout is going to happen. As he revealed, what's fueling his fire has a lot to do with a feeling of betrayal after Conor made a public bet against a move that Paddy hasn't been able to let go.
Conor McGregor, before the fight, put a $500,000 bet on Michael Chandler. Cheeky bastard, cheeky little bastard.
I thought he was supposed to back you.
Exactly, you know what I mean? I had a scouts meant to back each other. I didn't expect that from Conor, lad. If you want to come back, Con, I'm here, son. I'm waiting. I'll mufti you just like I've just muftied Chandler.
With no apologies made, the rising Scouse star was vocal in his criticism, taking many pointed shots at the former champion during interviews and press appearances. His remarks are dripping with sharp wit and confidence, leaving little doubt about his contempt publicly undermining the reputation of the former title holder in a way many considered bold and humiliating.
You know, that what I've just done to Chandler's after blueprints of beating him. He's even more of a midget than Chandler is. Like, I'll do the exact same thing to Ilya than what I've done to Chandler.
In response to such criticism, Conor also clapped back on the Scouse and hinted on a potential return to the UFC to balance out his money loss with a win against Pimblett.
So I got a lot of love for that part of the world. And who knows, you know? I will never say no to nothing. You know what I mean? Never say never, as they say.
Islam Makhachev put a stop to such rumors as he mentioned the current lifestyle of the Irish fighter, making it clear that, according to him, there is no chance that Conor might return to the octagon anytime soon.
Think he ever fights again?
McGregor? No, I don't think. Too much drunks, too much marijuana.
Ilia Topuria also weighed on this topic, indicating that Conor has essentially lost it as he now leads a wrong lifestyle, which makes him not only inadequate to go against the champions, but also shows how he is not in fighting shape anymore.
Everything, like right now, what does he represent? I always used to say like drugs, alcohol, bad lifestyle.
True Geordie weighed in on the situation, expressing his preference for Conor McGregor to remain on the sidelines. According to him, the Irish superstar may be past his prime and jumping back into the spotlight, especially after publicly betting against Paddy Pimblett could do more harm than good to his legacy.
I think McGregor should look at that. I know he bet on Chandler, and he should be thinking, like, if Chandler's been way more active than McGregor and he is getting that kind of treatment, what the fuck do you think the boozer Conor McGregor is going to look like when he's all puffed up and he comes back bloated? His gas tank was shit to start with. Knows how bad that would go. This is a lesson for McGregor. Stay on the fucking couch and promote your booze.
Given the reception that Michael Chandler received after losing to Pimblett, the stakes for Conor would be that much higher. A loss now wouldn't simply blemish his record. It could harm his reputation severely, and most importantly, it could seriously raise questions about whether or not the risk is worth all this at this point in his life. Other than speculation of a possible McGregor and Pimblett fiesta, UFC 314 also brought out the best of both fighters in a nail-biting event. Dana White's reaction to Pimblett's win said it all as he came out with a bold statement that Pimblett has proved his doubters wrong and is deserving of top fights.
Paddy Pimblett, what a performance, you know.
pretty much every question you could ask about that guy now answered. You know, he beat one of the best in the division, Michael Chandler. Give us your thoughts on his performance. What do we do with Chandler now and everything about that fight?
Yeah, people keep counting him out, but he keeps looking better and better and better every time he shows up. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? Probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting top guy.
Demetrius Johnson also weighed in on this topic, coming out with a bold prediction of Paddy being a potential champion in a few years with his progress so far.
I think if you give Paddy 3 more years and he gets his striking even more cleaner, there's no reason why he can't be a world champion at 155. He's 30 years old. Give him 3 more years. As long as he stays healthy, I can see him being a champion.
Henry Cejudo also agreed with Kamaru Usman when he mentioned that Paddy should now get the respect he deserves and all the fight he wants, because after the immaculate performance that he just displayed, he has earned his spot as one of the major contenders in the division.
Paddy the Baddie. I mean, this man has been going in there, and listen, not the most polished striking. I mean, still making a lot of errors. He's still very green, but he makes up for it with his grappling. His grappling is definitely a really, really top level. When he gets on top of you, he wears guys out. So, yeah, once you get up to the upper echelon of this division, there are guys that are definitely going to touch you and let you know. So I just, nothing away against him, man. Paddy Pimblett did it once again. And you're right, Henry. You know, we have to put some respect on his name.
After Paddy Pimblett's massive victory against Michael Chandler, rumors started flying regarding possible opponents for the rising Scouse star. The momentum is definitely in his favor, and pundits and fans are speculating as to who might be next for Pimblett as he ascends the lightweight ranks. His rise to fame, drama with recent rivalries, and plenty of callouts have made him one of the most talked about names in the division, building up to some big matches ahead. Sharing his insight regarding this new situation following Paddy's victory, the MMA guru weighed in on this topic, favoring Dustin Poirier as a suitable opponent for the Scouse fighter.
I think Poirier has to get the Pimblett fight. I think Dustin Poirier needs to get the Pimblett fight. It's not the highest ranks out of all of the names that I just said, but I think Poirier's gonna have to take it.
Moving on, Colby Covington and Paddy Pimblett had stirring exchanges before Pimblett's big fight this weekend against Michael Chandler, and rumor mills were buzzing. The drama birthed some anticipation, leaving the fans guessing if down the line a fight could very well be made. A confrontation like that is always charged with energy. However, that energy seems to increase with Pommy's full embrace of the potential fight in the future.
I'll come and slap you. Zip your shirt up, you little
You're a bum. Your mean guys are 2-6. Remember that. Remember that. You're a scrub. You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
Brad, what are you on a 3-fight losing streak?
You get fraud checks so quick.
Colby Covington had a few choice words for Paddy Pimblett, blasting him publicly in typical blunt fashion and not taking any verbal punches. In an interview recently, Covington criticized Pimblett's ability and standing.
Yeah, dude, he's been loving to run my name through his mouth in the media. You know, he talks about me every chance he gets. So I just said, hey, what's up, bro? You want to talk to me to my face right now? So say something now, you know, like he has nothing to say, you know. He had a mic, you know, in Vegas when I fought in the title fight, and he didn't say shit. He sat there like a good little bitch and didn't say shit. He didn't say his little sausage lines. He didn't fucking, you know, that Ellen DeGeneres looking fucking nerd. He had nothing to say. You know, he was fucking piped down like the little bitch he is. So, you know, I'm just sick of him running my name through his mouth.
This combative exchange only fueled fan rumor that a Covington versus Pimblett fight could be imminent. With their recent conflict and Covington's straightforward trash talk, this fight is fast becoming an actuality, and one that has the potential for fireworks both in and out of the octagon. Ilia Topuria is also another fighter who desires to fight Paddy Pimblett and has publicly declared that he would like to see the bout. He sees this as a great chance for exposure for him as he transitions to the lightweight division, as a bout with Pimblett, in his view, would receive huge exposure and truly help him establish himself in the new weight class.
I want to fight him. Of course I want it. Of course. While I'm an active fighter, right now we are in the same weight division. Yeah, look how fat he looks.
But he does that quite often, right? He puts on the weight and then he trims down. He puts on the weight and he trims down.
Pimple.
That's part of his...
Little pimple.
Little pimple.
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett.
Chael Sonnen offered a more logical fight recommendation. He recommended Dan Hooker as a potential contender based on how Dan is no 5 in rankings, and it's more logical if now 6th place Paddy defeats Hooker, which will automatically push him to be in the top list and won't have to go and demand for top fights. Rather, he'll get it easily.
Moicano would provide that. But you want to know who else does? Is Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is now number 5. If Paddy became 5, okay, first off, if Paddy could get the jump on Dan Hooker, we would all stand back and go, okay, we've said it 5 times now that we're wrong and this guy's better than we thought, but let's just say it again. But that would move him into something very big.
However, Michael Bisping supported the idea of Paddy Pimblett fighting Charles Oliveira, saying that Pimblett has earned the right for top-level competition. Bisping praised Pimblett's development and stated that a fight with someone of Oliveira's caliber would constitute a major step into a real test of Pimblett's position within the lightweight division.
That's a tough fight for him, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but that's what we thought about this fight too.
You're right.
You know?
But who do we want to see him with? Charles, Justin, Dustin, or Arman? Well done, John, on putting a poll on.
I feel like there's no way you would fight Dustin.
Charles Oliveira's the one.
After beating Chandler, Paddy asserted that he deserves one of the big fights now and wishes to face anybody at the top of the lightweight division, such as Arman Tsarukyan or Islam Makhachev.
After this win for you, this is going to completely shake up lightweight.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
It's gonna shake up lightweight in a big way. It's I still get called a prospect, know what I mean? So once I beat Michael, that's gonna change. I'll be in the top 7 fighters in the world behind Islam Makhachev. I'll be asking for the top 4 fighter after that.
Me versus Charles. Arman. He's a little helmet. That sausage.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA coverage. Stay tuned because in this game, anything can happen and we'll be here to cover every second of it.